Nobody ever explains it, and it happens the second her arms wrap around you. Most men think a hug means nothing, a greeting, a farewell, a simple gesture between two people. But if you've ever felt a woman hold you just a little longer than expected, or pull away too fast, or press herself into you in a way that made your heart beat loud in your ears, then pay attention, because what I'm about to share is something most men go their entire lives without understanding. Women reveal more truth through their embrace than through anything they say. I'm not writing this as a romantic, I'm saying it as someone who studies human behavior. Women are conditioned to hold back their verbal feelings, but their bodies refuse to cooperate. Their physical responses betray them every single time. And the reason you've been confused, hurt, or lying awake at 2 a.m., replaying that moment in your head, is because her body was speaking a language you were simply never taught to read. But that changes right now. Let me begin with the most difficult truth. A woman almost never hugs a man she feels absolutely nothing for. Even the most casual embrace carries layers beneath it. Attraction, curiosity, admiration, sometimes hesitation wrapped around quiet longing. You may not have recognized it in the moment, but her nervous system absolutely registered every second of it. The instant a woman hugs you, her brain is running rapid calculations. Does she feel secure? Does she feel drawn in? Does she want to be closer? Or is the distance already comfortable enough? She isn't consciously working through those questions. Her body simply responds, and that response is everything you experienced. The warmth, the stiffness, the softness, the tension, the way she held on, the way she let go. A hug is never just a gesture, it's an unspoken confession. And here's something men rarely consider. A woman uses that embrace to quietly evaluate you, not because she wants something theatrical, but because she's taking your emotional temperature. Is your hold confident, or does it feel uncertain? Are your hands gentle, or are they tense? Are you fully present or somewhere else in your mind? She picks up all of it within 1 second, and it permanently shapes the image she carries of you. But here's where it gets deeper. A woman's hug tells you how she envisions a future with you, even when she has said absolutely nothing about it. If she draws you in, but keeps her chest angled slightly away, she's guarding something inside herself. If she melts into you even for a brief moment, her body is trusting you more than her words may ever admit. If her hands rise higher on your back, she's reaching for closeness. If they stay rigid and low, she hasn't decided yet. And the one most men completely misread, the firm hold followed immediately by a quick release. That is the hug of a woman who feels something she isn't prepared to show you yet. Men tend to trust what's said, women respond to what's felt, and a hug lives precisely in the space between those two worlds. There's a fraction of a second that happens right before her arms even reach you. A split moment that almost no man ever notices. In that instant, she has already decided exactly who you are to her. She doesn't announce it. She doesn't have to. Her body communicates it with total clarity. And if you've ever walked away from a hug feeling strangely hopeful, or unexpectedly hollow, or quietly energized without knowing why, it's because her nervous system spoke directly to yours. A woman's embrace is not random noise. It is a map of her feelings, her fears, her desires, and the way she perceives the kind of man you are. What women are actually measuring through that hug is something most men wildly underestimate: your emotional stability. She feels your energy before she feels your arms. She notices whether your breath shifts, whether your shoulders go rigid, whether your chest caves slightly inward, whether you rush the moment or hold it past its natural end. For her, this isn't just physical, it's a quiet window into who you actually are inside. If anxiety lives in your body, she feels it. If you are grounded and calm, she softens. If neediness is underneath the surface, she senses it before a single word is spoken. If genuine confidence is there, her body responds by opening up rather than closing off. And here's something very few people ever mention. A woman doesn't decide what kind of hug to give you beforehand. She mirrors the emotional atmosphere your body creates. A man with a calm, steady presence often receives a slower, deeper embrace, not because she planned it, but because her body decided she was safe enough to settle into him for that moment. A man who carries tension or anxiety beneath the surface will receive something different. Her hips won't close the gap, her arms will stay elevated, her chest will remain slightly turned. She isn't rejecting you, she's preserving her own sense of safety from something that feels unsteady. Now let's talk about something almost nobody discusses openly: what her hands are doing on your back, and what that reveals about her emotional state toward you. If her hands barely make contact, resting lightly and without pressure, she's withholding something emotionally. She's uncertain. She's watching quietly to see whether you're someone who can be trusted with her softness or someone she should keep at a careful distance. If her palms press firmly and steadily against you, that is connection. That is her saying without any words at all, I feel safe in this moment with you. If her hands slide to a lower position on your back, not sexually, but in that quiet, steadying way, that is vulnerability being offered. Very few women extend that to a man they feel nothing for. And the rarest one of all, the hug where she squeezes with actual emotion behind it, not playfully, not out of habit, but with something real pressing through. That squeeze doesn't come from logic. It comes from a place far deeper than thought. It's her body trying to say what her mind is still too frightened to speak. But here's the part that costs men the most. The majority misread all of it because they're too busy listening to the noise inside their own heads. Does she like me? What does this mean? Am I reading too much into this? And while their thoughts are racing, the truth is happening right in front of them, completely missed. Her hug is not a riddle, it is a message, and when you learn to receive that message instead of overthinking around it, the confusion dissolves permanently. Here is a truth about women that men rarely get to hear. Her embrace is more honest than her words, her messages, or even her visible behavior. A woman can manufacture a smile, she can suppress what she feels, she can tell you she's perfectly fine, but her body in that moment of closeness exposes the emotional reality she's been working to conceal. And what gets revealed is not accidental, it is not something she can fully manage or redirect. Because when a woman hugs you, her body expresses the one thing she fights hardest to keep hidden, the depth of her emotional attachment. If she hugs you like someone terrified of losing you, she already cares far more than she's willing to admit out loud. That slight tension in her arms, that tiny pause before she releases you, that quiet breath she takes while her face is near your chest, those are not signs of politeness. They are signs of emotional investment. She feels something significant, and she's frightened by how significant it is. This is precisely why some women cut the hug short and step back so quickly. They're not pulling away from you. They're pulling away from how much they're feeling. They're trying to stop themselves from showing too much too soon. Then there's the opposite kind of hug that men almost never interpret correctly, the one that feels physically present but emotionally heavy. This is the hug of a woman who is hurt or disappointed or conflicted, but still deeply connected. Her arms are around you, but something feels unsettled within her. Not cold, not distant, just weighted. She's hugging you because the attachment is still real, but something unresolved is sitting between you. That kind of hug carries a silent message underneath it. Don't make this more difficult than it already is. And then there's the hug that arrives without hesitation. Natural, warm, fluid, where she moves toward you without any visible thought. This is not flirtation. This is not performance. This is emotional alignment at its most genuine. Her nervous system has decided you are safe. Her guard has come down without her realizing it. Her shoulders drop. Her body softens entirely. That softness is not weakness or carelessness. It's permission. She is letting you in, whether she ever acknowledges it or not. But the hug that haunts men the longest, the one they keep returning to in their memory, is the lingering one. The hug where she simply stays, not long enough to feel romantic, not brief enough to feel meaningless, just long enough to leave you wondering why she didn't step back when she should have. This kind of hug is emotional conflict taking physical shape. She wants the closeness but fears what wanting it might cost her. She feels something but can't be certain you feel it in return. She's drawn to you but doesn't yet know if being drawn to you will eventually hurt her. Her body leans in while her mind is quietly urging her to be careful. That internal tension is what you felt in the way she held you. And men who don't understand this dynamic spend hours, sometimes days, asking themselves the wrong questions entirely. Her hug already gave them the answer. A woman's embrace is her emotional truth escaping through a crack before she can seal it shut again. Here is something men rarely understand until it's already passed them by. The way a woman hugs you can tell you exactly where things are going, long before either of you speaks a word about it. A hug is not just a physical moment, it is the place where her emotional reality leaks through the walls she has spent so long building. A woman almost never hugs you the same way twice. Her embrace evolves with the way she sees you. It tracks her growing trust, or her quietly fading certainty. And sometimes the most significant message isn't that she hugged you at all. It's that the hug feels different from the last time. If she used to hold you tightly and now the embrace feels light, she is retreating emotionally. Not with anger, not with a test in mind, but with quiet self-protection from something she doesn't want to be disappointed by again. If her hugs used to end quickly and now she lingers, attachment is forming. Her defenses are lowering. Your presence has begun to feel like comfort to her, and that is not something she shares easily. If her shoulders used to be rigid, and now her body releases against yours, trust is being built in a way she may not have even registered consciously yet. That shift communicates more than any message she could ever send you. And if she holds you like she genuinely doesn't want the moment to be over, that is a woman whose heart has already begun investing in you, whether she's ready to say so or not. But here is the truth that hits men the hardest. Some women give you one final hug while they are still in the middle of deciding, while they are standing at the edge between staying, stepping back, or letting go completely. And that hug feels unlike any other. It feels heavy in a way that's hard to name. It feels like she is holding something enormous just beneath the surface, because she is. She is trying to memorize the way you feel. She is searching for an answer in the warmth of that closeness. She is asking herself a question she is too afraid to ask you directly. Is this the man I can actually trust, or am I simply hoping he becomes that man? That's why you cannot afford to treat a hug like a throwaway moment. It is never throwaway for her. It is always a reflection of exactly where she stands inside herself. And the men who pay genuine attention, who learn to feel rather than immediately analyze, those men carry an edge that most never develop. They understand women not just through logic, but through presence. Because a woman does not fall for the man who decodes her words. She falls for the man who can sit quietly inside her silence and understand what lives there. So the next time she hugs you, whether it's soft or tight, rushed or lingering, warm or slightly guarded, don't immediately retreat into your head. Stay present. Feel it fully. Let yourself notice what her body is actually communicating. Because in that brief moment, she is telling you an emotional truth she may never be able to put into words. Now here's something personal I want to ask you, and I hope you'll actually answer honestly. What is the one hug from a woman that has stayed with you all this time?